This project, is it considered an EP or an album or a mixtape? I don't know. What do you consider it?
I suppose it's an EP.
And why go that route for this particular project here? Why not an album? Why not a mixtape?
Honestly, I feel like all of those things are what is really the difference between a mixtape and an album and I don't know. I think those lines are a little blurred, but I haven't put music out in a while, so I wanted to, give them 7 songs, let them digest it. I'm gonna come back, give them X Tapes Part 2. That'll be another 7 songs. Just kind of, getting back out there and feeding them in smaller doses before I drop an album.
How long has it been since your prior project to this?
4 years.
Why?
Well, it's technically 4 years. We put it out at the end of 2016. Obviously, I dropped my last single in January, February of 2017 from that project. And, I was still doing stuff on that project that year, and I started getting into writing for this one. But, life just took so many different turns. I worked with a lot of other artists. Tory Lanez, I had a song on his album. Some artists that I've worked with, I haven't even released that music yet. So I was never away from music. I just got back in the studio and really wanted to map out where I wanted to go next.
And is this something you do on your own, or was there somebody that kind of pushed the battery behind your back to get this project done, or get a project done, since it's been that amount of time?
It was definitely me on my own.
The title. Give me the full story with the title and why you chose that title for this project.
There's a lot of little stories, but I would say the big overall story was the song that started this project off is called Space. It's on the project, and that was written when I was at the end of a relationship, and some of the songs, they were just very nostalgic to me, and I'm writing them about my ex, and so X Tapes, I just kind of came out.
Is this whole project about that person?
No.
But that particular song is?
Yes.
Any other songs about this person?
It didn't make the project.
Why not?
Just, like I said, I've been recording for a while, so I've made so many songs, and we just felt like we picked the best 7, the strongest 7.
This person, you ended a relationship. Technically, you ended the relationship, they ended the relationship, or was mutual?
I think at first I ended it, and I ended it.
And what was the reason?
Just on 2 different pages, just our focus was in 2 different directions.
Did you end on good terms, bad terms, or no terms?
I would say no terms.
Since this song came out, since this project came out, has that person ever contacted you about it?
Not about this particular song, no. In the past, yeah, of course they've reached out, but no, not since the project has been out.
And when it comes to this title, this is a title you come up with, or somebody else comes up with and coins for you?
What are you speaking on?
X Tapes?
Oh,
that
no.
title there.
No, I come up with everything that I put out.
The artwork. Can you explain the concept behind this artwork for this project?
I just wanted something that represented me, which I feel is this person who is very soft and, sensual and vulnerable. And then, there's the other side to me, which is, very strong. And so I thought that, with the group of pictures that we took, this was the best image.
Something you come up with, the concept or
Yes.
the artwork, or somebody else does for you?
Myself.
The release date, was there any significance on the release date for this project?
I'm definitely one with numbers, but it was 6 days after my birthday, and it mostly because it was just all the way completed.
Happy with the date that was chosen?
Very.
Somebody watching this that has never heard of this project, finding out about it for the first time, or maybe somebody watching this that has seen the artwork, has heard that it's out, but maybe have not pressed play yet. Can you describe the sound, overall speaking, one would hear when they do press play?
X Tapes is a vibe. It's going to put you in your feels. It's going to put you in your emotions. It's very raw. It's smoker friendly. I think you might want to roll up if that's what you do. But mostly, yeah, I think it's going to be very relatable, and you'll be able to probably pick a moment or a memory in time where you've been through at least one of these scenarios on the project.
When it comes to the lyrics of the project, did you have any help?
Yes, I did.
And in what ways?
I'm super open to co-writing. I love working with people. I love finding people that have like minds and bouncing ideas back and forth from each other. So that's what I do. I found an incredible young woman, Daz. She's out of Cleveland, and I heard her music, and we were just on the same vibe. So she came out to LA, and we got in the studio, and that's how Nights I Cry came, All for Nothing, and Chrome. So yeah, I love collaborating with other people, but I always have some writing in my records. I'm always making sure that it fits me if it wasn't something that was my whole complete thought.
You are open to collaborative writing. What is your opinion on ghostwriting?
I think that, people have made such a negative connotation of ghostwriting, and I don't think that it's a negative thing at all. There's so many parts to this, and I don't think that people truly understand, and sometimes songwriters can write a song that just really speaks to you and speaks your language, and sometimes, as an artist, you're focused on so many things that that you have that creativity block, but you know what you want to say, and sometimes you can find that person that is able to get that out or interpret things for you. So I don't think that it's a bad thing. I think that it can be bad, or it just depends on you. I don't look at it as a negative thing, but for me personally, I have to be hands-on with my writing.
Have you ever ghost wrote for somebody before?
I've written records for other people before.
But not as a ghost. You always had a credit?
I think I always had a credit.
And vice versa. Has anyone ever ghost written for you before?
No, I always give credit.
Curious though, I know that you say it's not a negative thing, in your opinion, but why would someone not credit somebody if they did write something? I mean, I understand where you say, you have the idea, not you personally, but somebody may have the idea and it's interpreted a little better by the writer or whatever.
Right.
But why would the artist or the record label not want to credit that help? Would you know the reasoning behind that?
I personally have no idea. I don't. like I said, I think that, you know, this industry a lot of times just goes with whatever is just kind of like becomes the popular opinion. So if the popular opinion became ghostwriting is bad, then, you know, now artists might, you know, it might get into their heads that, you know, they need to have the credit and, you know, they want people to just kind of, you know, and maybe some writers are okay with that. Maybe some writers don't care, but I think that that's maybe why.
When it comes to your lyrics for this project, your personal lyrics, how honest are they?
They're 9 times out of 10 very honest.
What would be that 1 out of 10 that's not?
I wouldn't say that it's not honest. It might be exaggerated or you know, flavor added, to, you know, depending on how the song is written.
This project is 7 songs. Why that amount for this one?
I just like that number, and that was the same number that I used for Nearly Civilized. So I thought that I would keep going.
How many songs did you have to choose from originally before you cut down to 7?
I'm not even sure. A lot.
What's that narrowing process down like for you?
I thought it would probably be a lot harder than it was. When I wrote the second batch of records, they just, you know, certain songs just kind of stuck out to where it was like a more of a consistency. So it wasn't actually that difficult.
And rough estimate, do you know how long that narrowing process down took from whatever amount of songs you had originally to that 7? Is it like a 2-week process? Is it a month process?
I would say like over a month. We, you know, we had, you know, a strong 5 and maybe, you know, decided on 1 or 2.
Who put this track list order together, and what was the process behind the song order?
I put the track list together. Just trying to tell a story without using, you know, without using a narrative. That was how I put it together.
And how long did that take for you?
Not long.
When it comes to that story, I don't know what you would call it, not strategy, but that story way of thinking for the song order, is that something that you always do on a project, or that just fit this particular project for you?
No, I didn't do it for my first project, but it was something that was very important to me for this one.
And did you premiere this project on a particular platform, or it was released on all platforms at the same time?
Yeah, it was released on all platforms.
What was that feeling like after releasing this project publicly?
I think just a large exhale like I just did. Just relief.
That first minute it drops, coast to coast, it's live on a streaming platform. What is actually going on? What are you actually doing that first minute it drops? And then maybe, you know, those hours after?
I'm probably nervous a few minutes before, and then, like I said, more relief than anything. I don't try to put too much pressure on myself. So I don't like log in and, you know, check out what people are saying. I don't do any of that. I think that, you know, once it's released, it's out there, and it's like I did my job, and hopefully people fuck with it. And if they don't, you know, then, I mean, I feel like somebody has to connect to this. That's how I feel.
This was your second official project ever?
Correct.
And after the project is actually released, was there any remorse in the songs chosen or the song order?
No.
And from start to finish, how much time do you think this project actually took together, from recording the records to releasing it?
3 years.
Financially, how much does a project like this cost to create?
So much.
Did you?
More than you think, even in an independent level, for sure.
Did you have a budget going into it?
I did. I mean, not 3 years ago, but finishing it, yeah.
Did you go over or under that budget?
I'm sure I always go over.
Looking back, you didn't state what you spent on it, but looking back, whatever that amount was, has it been worth it?
100%.
Why?
I think that the project has been received very well, and you know, people have showed a lot of love, and that's what you do it for. So.
Is this your best work so far, musically?
100%.
What's your favorite song on it? Your personal favorite?
I love to sing Nights I Cry. I really love that song. Space is special because, like I said, that was the song that I wrote on my couch. That's a song that kind of kicked off this whole project. And All for Nothing, which is my lead single with Ross, that has a very special place in my heart. Just lyrically, I just feel like it just hits everything that I wanted to say in one song.
How did that feature come about, the Rick Ross feature? What's the story on that?
Honestly, at the end of the project, when we were mixed and mastered, my team asked me if there was anybody that I felt, you know, heavily on the record, on any of the records, and Ross was the only person that really came to mind. I'm not heavy on, you know, worrying about features when it comes to my personal projects so far, just because I think it's something personal, and I want to make sure that you hear my message and you're not distracted. But I could really hear Ross on All for Nothing, and so I was, you know, so happy when we reached out and he heard the record, and he was, you know, excited to do it.
How long did it take him, once you expressed interest, for him to knock it out?
He knocked it out quick.
And was that something done in the studio together, or was that more like digital back and forth passing?
Yeah, it was back and forth, obviously, because of the pandemic, and you know, Ross stays here in Atlanta, in LA, so you know, we sent it to him.
And excuse my brain here, was this your first time working with him on a record, or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I asked you a lot of questions in regards to this project. Are there any interesting facts I didn't mention, I didn't bring up, maybe you had in mind, in regards to this project? Anything that wasn't said that one may find interesting about it?
No, I just, you know, like I said, I think this is my best work to date. I really, really took the time to make sure that you could hear the growth in my lyrics and my vocals and the beat selection. So, yeah.
Speaking of the beat selection, the producers used for this project, were they your first time working with any of them, or were they repeats? You have worked with some of these in the past.
All of them were new.
Anybody you want to shout out that you did not mention in this segment in regards to the project? Obviously, we mentioned Ross. We don't need to say his name again, but anybody else?
Like I said, shout out to Daz. Daz is an incredible singer-songwriter with an incredible career ahead of her. All the people that contributed to this, Jaylon, He produced Heartbreak on the West Side. That's a really dope song. Who else? I'm sure I'm missing people. I said Vori already, and Business Boy. Yeah, but like I said, if I'm missing anybody, all of the people that contributed to the actual creativity and artwork, I'm very, very grateful for, because I really love this project.
Who is the ex you're referring to on that song?
I plead the fifth, but if you can line the timeline up, I'm sure people could figure it out.